All right, we are back in business. Waste management, the Super Bowl. A lot of good things are in the rear review mirror, but Tiger Woods is back, which means golf is really back. Genesis Invitational. We're going to dive in to some of our favorite bets. It's going to be quick, easy, and hopefully profitable. I'm Ben Rasa. Eytan Shander, the man himself, joins me. I have to give credit. This hurts me. I'm not going to lie, even though I do like you.
Here we
You
go.
were dropping some fire in the Discord. You were hitting Nick Taylor. You had Charlie Hoffman live. You were giving it a run last week. You must be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, we hit the first round leader and the second round leader, which was really nice. Yeah.
You and the people.
Losing Charlie Hoffman on Sunday live to Nick Taylor was okay. And then I saw a couple of my buddies out there. I don't know if you saw this, but Kenny, my buddy Kenny, the moonshot hit the 170-1.
Yeah, that'll work.
I don't know. Why didn't you have Nick Taylor outright, Ben, last week?
No, I didn't. I was too busy clinging to the hope that Sanjay M had fixed his iron. Spoiler alert, he did not.
Boy.
You know the beautiful thing about golf? We get a whole new board and a whole new opportunity. And we're going to dive in. First things, welcome to Odd Chopper Golf. We're about to cross 1,000 subs. We're growing quickly here. It's part of the Odd Chopper family. Thanks to you guys. It's appreciated. If you've seen this new channel and you like talking golf, like, subscribe, be part of this team. Now before we even dive into the plays, 70 guys. It's a weird format. So top 50 and 10 shots of the lead make the cut. So we're going to see a couple of guys get knocked out. But for the most part, I'm kind of treating this as almost a non-cut. Because if you're even remotely good on Thursday and Friday, you're getting 4 rounds.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to weigh right now is the field. And how often do we say that, right? Like, it's usually the course or it's the POA, which they'll be putting on by all means in Cali. It's something outside of the field, especially when we're trying to find value in that mid to long range. But I think this jam-packed, this has got to be as big of a non-major field that I can remember. We know it's an elevated event now ever since Tiger made it a signature, not necessarily just an open type where people can just come in and that cut you mentioned. So I think absolutely there are not just where the value is up top, but just weighing that in. Don't just take a guy at the bottom because there's value. Is there a realistic shot that he can just hang around on Saturday or Sunday with this big field? And then also I'm looking at one guy, and I'm pretty sure you know who I am right there in the meat. I'm not going to bring him up, but I'm looking at like one guy that I think, okay, normally, if you don't have Hovland, who I think is hurt, Rory, who imploded at Pebble, and Scotty, who just is disinterested unless there's a major to it, now all of a sudden, guys in that 16 to 20 to 1 range, part of me, I think jump out with even more value because of the guys up top weighing or just sinking some numbers down for everybody else.
So there's no doubt about it. These elevated fields, it's always an if you survive Scotty and Rory and Hovland, everybody else's number is good because of those guys. Now, if you don't survive them, every other player is dead in the outright market. That's the risk that you're taking. But I get what you're saying, and there's no doubt about it. And I think it's even more important because I know I said this a little last week, and look what happened. We have had the most ridiculous run of 100 to 200 to 1 I've ever seen. But honestly, let's be realistic. The big names are going to start to win more tournaments. And I think it's going to happen this week. So yes, can you look down the board? Sure. But it's so difficult for me to not think that the winner isn't coming, even from what's on the screen right now. Like, look at these names. You've got Justin Thomas at 16-1. You've got Morikawa at 16-1. You've got Cantlay. These are the type of players. So I want to ask you first, of the big names, the inside 20-1s, if you're using, say, the DraftKings boost where you get plus 300 or just, you want to take a favorite, who are the guys at the very top that you're eyeing?
There are 2 guys that I'm looking at right now to boost. Now, to be honest with you, as I say this, I think you can apply, like to your point, there's never a bad boost unless that boost doesn't get over other books. So if Scotty Scheffler is plus 950 or 1,000, 10-1 at another book, then don't boost him. But every single solo boost is a good boost. And I'm just reiterating what you've said countless times on here with this offer. I think there are two guys that jump out at me. Look, Patrick Cantlay and Max Homa are going to be talked about. Homa's already steamed a little bit down. He was 20-1, I think, to start him, just north of that. It's going to be a split between Morikawa and Justin Thomas. And I'm sorry, but as much as I love JT, and I think that there was something there on that 3-day short that we saw 2 weeks ago, he at least showed us some DNA of struggling on POA. And we go back to this grass here, and I would just absolutely love Justin Thomas to be a top 5 finish, even a win outright, the storyline there. But if I'm going to boost, and again, this goes back to what I said initially, Ben, if I'm going to boost a guy, there has to be a realistic chance in this case that he's going to walk away a winner. You give me Colin Morikawa at nearly 20-1, the ball striking ability, just to get off the tee and then being able to putt as well on POA grass. This is a comfortable confine for him. And again, you're starting to look at two things. Yes, just your iron play, but also longer approach shots. 3/4 of your shots, Ben, from approach are going to be from longer than 150 out. Give me a guy who can hit distance there and also strike the ball with Morikawa. I'll take him at 19-1 on this boost.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you can, again, you're going to want to shop all of this, find the best number. He was pretty good at Pebble, no doubt about it. And it was actually atypical. His irons weren't as crisp as they normally were. He's got all the shots. I think JT has all the shots right now. He gained across the board again. He's playing really good. I also think that, not that people aren't talking about him, but there's a world that we almost live in where JT is coming off a win just 2 weeks ago. If they played the last round at Pebble, he might have won. And I think the noise would be even greater for him. The guy that I wanted to look at, but I'll be honest, before we move down, that I'm not getting to is Max Homa. Max Homa right now is not playing great golf, and I wanted to back him here. I know it's a very important tournament to him. I don't love that number at 18. I couldn't get there. Could you?
Could you get there at now? Again, it's a good boost. It's a plus. It's a good value bet. So I'm not saying there's no value here, but Max Homa at 21-1. He's 22. See, there's the problem, right? He's 20-1 on FanDuel. So you're just getting over that. The problem, though, is that I don't trust Max Homa like you to win this event.
Yep. I'm with you. I just don't see it. Of course, getting an extra on a boost helps, but I'd rather apply it to a guy closer to the top and who I just genuinely feel confident in. So that's not for me, but I want to go down the board a little more if we can. Tony.
Don't stop quite yet. Don't stop quite yet. There's one more guy there. I mean, he must have been steamed through the roof here, right?
Who?
Aberg?
Oh, yeah. People just love to bet this dude.
Is he now unbettable at 18-1? Now, look, I love him this week. And I tell you, I went around this and played a different one before we get out of here, different way with him before we get out of here. But he just fits so many areas here, especially as we know this is a longer, like some of the longer holes, the fairways just get just like right here. Like that's what you're hitting off of. So you can't just grip and rip and just pound the ball. He does have some distance that he can rely on, and the accuracy, I think, with just approach shots. I just don't know, man. At 18-1, woof.
Not for me. Great player. He might be this good, where he's going to be 18-20-1 in like major level fields.
Yeah.
But if you're going to tell me I could get Cam Young at 35-1, if you're going to tell me I could get Tony Finau in the mid 30s, I believe he's up to 33-1. Again, when you want to shop this, you go to OddsShopper. We have all sorts of tools to do just that. I'm more living in this mid range of the Finau Cam Young than I am the Burns Aberg. Is there anyone in this 30-40, even 50-1 range that caught your eye?
Yeah, I think looking at this right now, Wyndham Clark has some appeal at where is he there? Yeah, 40-1. Okay. I think Wyndham Clark has some appeal. We did not see. I actually thought he'd missed the cut last week. I know that it's a fine course for him, what have you, but to win the way in which he did on a Saturday, I thought that there would be some letdown. There was letdown. Now you see, look, the guy overall is just playing great golf. And I'm all about trying to take another shot on a guy like that at 40-1. Clearly, Wyndham Clark is not fazed by the field. Clearly, Wyndham Clark is not fazed by the genesis and what Riviera has to offer here. So I think at 40-1, I would take a shot absolutely at Clark.
It's hard to. So the thing that's good about Wyndham Clark is, and it's kind of counterintuitive almost to say, like, how can you not say that when you're picking outright? This guy wins. He's a winner. Like, I don't know if he's the most consistent player I've ever seen, but when he gets there, he takes it. And he's a kind of a big game hunter. You know, he wins at Wells Fargo, a good event, and then he takes down a straight major. Like, he's not going to worry about if he's on Sunday, you know, paired up with Rory and, you know, Hovland. He's going to battle. He's not, the moment is clearly not too big for him at any moment. So I get it. This is a range where I think you could absolutely see a winner. You know, again, I think Finau, Cam Young, the theme that I'm kind of going with, Wyndham Clark fits this too. I think it's going to be helpful to be strong off the tee. Get it out there. You obviously don't want to be in the thick stuff, but you got to move the ball around, Riv. We've seen, you know, the Bubbas of the world. Like, you want to get out there. It's not like you can't lean on the long irons like a Decky or a Fitzy, but I prefer my guys fit the mold that we're kind of targeting so far.
And I think that this is, again, why Clark appeals to me, Ben, is if you hit the rough, you've locked in a bogey. It's really tough, especially these longer holes, right? Like, you have to stay on the fairway and really be dedicated to being accurate and long, not short and accurate, but accurate and long. The hardest thing to do outside of putting in golf is to be accurate and long off the tee. And that's where I think a guy like Clark, where you can start. That's why I like Aberg too, to be honest with you. Yeah. Somebody like that, but the number is just unbettable at this point. But I think it speaks to that. Look, Finau is a gamer. Like, Finau is the rich man's version of my guy Eric Cole. So I'll put him anywhere in it. There are a few places that I would not play Tony Finau. This is not one of them.
He loves this place. He plays this every year. He's a walking runner-up here. He's got a million finishes towards the top. He knows POA. He's putted on these greens many a times. It all fits. 33-1 is a good number. Tony Finau's firmly on the card. I want to go down, though, and again, we're going to get to some more exotics as we work down. And honestly, before I even click these guys in, this is where, for me, and we talk about it every time, you don't want, and we talk about this in Discord. Yes, it's fun to have a guy in concussion, but if you take 10 golfers every week, you're going to start bleeding out money. But one of the ways to prevent that is if there are promos or boosts or bonuses. And you've heard it before, but if you're in one of these states, you're going to have an opportunity to get money to bet some extra golfers, to bet some extra college basketball, to bet some NBA. And these are the states. Listen up: New Jersey, Virginia, Iowa, Colorado, Louisiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and welcome to the club, Indiana and Arizona. Those 9 states all have Bet365, which means 150 in bonus bets is coming your way. You sign up, you take it, you bet $5. Win or lose, it does not matter. You're getting 150 in bonus bets. That's it. Not going to waste any more time. You want $150 added to the bankroll. You're in those states. You're good to go. The link is below. You got to be 21 plus. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You and me, not eligible for Bet365 just yet. It's a sad state of affairs.
I know. How
much snow did you get?
A lot more than I thought.
We got a good amount.
Saying where I am, I'm like 12 miles north of the center of Philadelphia, downtown, like Philly, and we were supposed to get like rain, snow that was not going to stick. I think, honestly, Ben, I think we've got like maybe 2 to 3 inches out here already, and it's early in Tuesday AM. So you must have more than me north of me.
Definitely. We definitely do. I don't know how much we got, but it was more than I expected. So again, it's just another reason to stay inside and use your Bet365 money. Don't be going out in the snow. Nobody wants to do that.
By the way, Aberg, real quick. I knew he was 20-1 because I put a small sprinkle on him at 20-1, similar in that range. And I thought the same thing, which is like, am I going to play Max Homa at 20-1, or am I going to play a guy like Aberg at 20-1? Now, though, that he's clearly caught some steam, who the hell knows? But that's what I wanted to just get out. I knew he was higher than 18-1.
Yeah, some of these are, again, this is why the importance of shopping, the importance of jumping and capturing some of this hopefully closing line value style. I know it's a little different than a traditional spread, but still, you want the best number. You want to maximize your potential return. Kind of a dead range for me. So the floor is yours. We're talking like the Will Z's. Kurt Kitayama played really well last week. Decky is down here at 80-1. That is kind of interesting. Is there anyone in that 50 to 100 to 1 range that you're looking at?
I did not bet Kurt Kitayama to win outright, but I did take him at 2-1 to finish top 20. And I think
Okay.
that was my approach. And look, I have to bet, you know this, I have to bet Eric Cole every week, because the day that he does and I don't, I'll throw myself. But I took he and Kitayama in this range
Okay.
so about 190 and 2-1. 2-1 is what I got. I think Kitayama dipped a little bit, but again, shop. I took these two guys in this type of focus here to where I'm not super confident they win this event, but you mentioned how well Kitayama played last week. I think Cole we just talked about a guy like Finau. He's not there yet, but he's approaching this, and I think he will play. I think Cole's going to start to respond to these bigger fields, knowing that the game is there. If you want an outright in this range, this 60-1 range here, Ben, the one guy, and I can't remember if he's on like your ban list or not, the 75-1 long shot, technically long shot of Russell. I don't even know if Russell Henley is a long shot because everybody's 100-1. But I started to look at just guys who are fitting, right? Tough conditions. And it's not the weather the wind. I'm talking about elevated bogeys or bunkers, pardon me, how difficult it is to get on the green, POA itself, just avoiding bogeys, knowing that if you hit the rough on a par 5, not that short par 5, the number, right, but just in general, you're cooked. I want to look at a guy in this range that has been playing well enough to avoid just bogeys, right? Like, I don't need a guy who's just dominating and scoring, or even a guy like Denny, let's say, who I can trust on the green. I looked at Russell Henley as a guy that I thought, all right, Ben, this is somebody who can avoid bogeys, who can scramble, and who can really take advantage of when other guys are in trouble and at least get out of there without losing a stroke. So that's 75-1. I'll take a shot here. And that, by the way, stop that, because I saw that much lower at another book.
Yeah. So, Russell Henley's always an interesting evaluation because to me, he's someone that traditionally was I almost classified him as an elite putter at times. And that has really not been the case lately. It's been more ball striking. His irons are always very crisp. We're playing good golf. He was 4th at Sony. He hasn't missed a cut since the Open Championship. That was in July of 2023. Is this the ideal course for him? I think that's a pretty reasonable question. Now, he's played here a ton and he's never really threatened. And I think that's mostly because of his off the tee game. You already talked about this. Can he survive off the tee? Because he's not really a mega bomber. So he better keep it out of the thick stuff. Because if you are short and erratic, you have absolutely no chance around Riviera. That's a death sentence. If you're bombing it in the rough, you're still in trouble, but you can at least hopefully get a club to it and kind of cozy it up to the green. If you are short into these long par 4s, you have no chance. And so for Henley, I get it. Can I give you one more in the same range? Because I have a guy that
Sung J M, who I like. How bad of golf right now is Sung J M playing that he is a 75-1 shot in this crew right here? Come on, Ben.
And I didn't even the testament to how bad it's going is he's 75-1, and I didn't even consider betting him. But
poor guy.
You know who I like? He's north of 2-1 for a top 20, and he's 100-1 in the outright market. I think Corey Connors does a lot of what Russell Henley does. He's a good ball striker. He's got experience. He knows what he's doing. He's a winner on tour. He's not going to be overpowered by the course. He gains off the tee. Or he's not a bomber, but this guy hasn't lost off the tee in 6 months plus. He's been outstanding so far in 2024. Results, making cuts, not threatening. 28th last week in Phoenix, 31 at Pebble Beach. So he's got to improve the putter. But Corey Connors is the type of guy I feel very confident he plays well, which is why I like the north of 2-1 for a top 20. And I don't mind sprinkling if you want to take a real long shot. That's about as deep as I'll go.
Does it concern you that he hasn't had the best history here, despite being a good fit here?
So that's an amazing point. Absolutely. He's played 4 times, 3 missed cuts and a 61st. But I like the course fit for him. And to me, that's more important. Results are results. But if there's nothing in Corey Connors' game where I see it and I say, that doesn't fit for Riv, I think he should be fine here. And I'm willing to bet on that. But it's a great point by you. Corey Connors' course history is part of the reason you're seeing 100-1 on him. There's no doubt about it.
All right, I know you're done here. I'm going to give you one more guy that I think
Okay.
just overall, as far as course fit, we're talking about a long shot. You got to scroll down just a little bit. Keep
Uh-oh.
going, keep going. I think right
Big
now,
Rio.
stop. Right now, don't you have
Sorry.
to bet him this week, or is that
I got
bet?
distracted. I might put him on the card. That's if you want more again, I'll just give a real quick come and hang in Discord. It's part of Odd
Yep.
Shopper. Not only are you getting the tools, you have me and Eytan and Eric and Nathan, the whole team. We're in there. We're not just talking golf, but of course, golf is in it. If you have questions about golf betting, if you want to sweat out the tournament, if you want matchups, weather, all that stuff, come on in. The link is below. Again, you're getting everything under one roof, picks and Discord and
Look at that.
tools. It's a great process. It's a fun time. And I just mentioned at the top of the show, you missed gold in there last week from the man himself. Dropping first round leader plays, having fun. That's what it's all about. So hit me with this mystery man at the
We've got a
bottom of the
really
ring.
cool golf community too. I
Oh,
just
it's
want to
great.
reiterate
It's
that
fun.
in the
It
Discord.
really
So
is.
I played him two ways. I
Okay.
played him, and look, the first way is just Luke List is a fit for this course. What he does well fits this course. Can he go out and wake up and play 4 days of golf? I don't know, but I know that if he can, he's going to be hanging around. So what I did actually is over at another book, I took him 5-1, all ties paid in full to be top 10 round one. I think if you're going to take a long shot fit, there's an opportunity to attack the first round without just boxing yourself into him leading the first round. So I took List long shot play, absolutely 120 or north of that to 1. And then I also took him top 10 in the first round after the first round. And you know who else I put in the top 10 after the first round? A guy that you didn't even bring up today. Shame on you.
Who? Jason
Tiger
Day.
Woods.
All right. Well, that's just don't do that.
Look,
The big
look,
cat.
we've this guy from a distance standpoint, like he's competing with the field. He seems to be healthier. I don't want Tiger Woods to win. I don't want Tiger Woods to finish top 20, but he's been able to handle himself against this type
Hey,
of field when he's been out there. And the biggest thing that we saw last year is we just didn't know who he was at that point. I think we have a better handle of him. And look, the guy's got some of the best hands in golf you'll ever see in the history of this
yes.
game. And I'm sorry, it's the only way I'll play Tiger this week.
Love the big
That's
cat. I'll be
final
rooting
score.
for him. You see it right there. There's a plus 390 static. Top 10 finish after round one. Top 20 finish after round one is plus 160.
I
So
got him
again,
5-1 top 10 finish after one, all ties paid in full.
and that's why you shop odds. And that is why you want to, again, be in Discord to make sure you're getting the right book with the right price. Sir, I think we did some good work here. What is that, a tee?
Yeah, I brought my special tee out. So you
They
put it in
found
the
the
ground
tee.
and you stay up the same time every time. It's
They
legal
found
too.
a tee in the dry cleaner. That could be trouble. That
Yes.
one was for you. All right, friends, we're gonna bounce on out of here. But if you have any
Yeah.
questions, at Shander Bets, follow this guy on Twitter. He is dropping plays at JazzRazDFS from college basketball to golf. I got an article posted already. Let's make it a hell of a week. And again, just thanks to everyone for building up Odd Shopper Golf, the YouTube channel here. Go to oddshopper.com, be part of this family. And let's cash some tickets, and we'll do it again next week. For me, for Eytan, and for all of you guys, enjoy the tournament. We'll talk to
See
you
ya.
soon.